Canadian Nationals are just days away, and I think it's time to make some guesses on who's going to be the champion in the various categories. And I'm joined by two very special guests who have appeared on here before, but they are back to help me out with this. We have, since appearing on my very first video on this channel, first guest, Devon Donaldson. Thank you, Devon, for joining me.
Thanks for having me.
And we also have as a returning guest, Tess Brown. Welcome back, Tess.
Hello. Oh my gosh, no one's introduced me with that name yet. Thank you.
Congratulations on your recent wedding. I'm happy for the
Thank
both of you.
you.
Um, yeah, so we are going to do some predictions for the Canadian Nationals. First of all, Devon, are you excited to be going back to Georgetown for the fourth year in a row?
I am. Yes, it's a new venue, which is what I'm most excited for. Looking at the photos of the interior of the sports complex, there's actual stands for spectators. There's going to be a ton of space for us puzzlers. So yes, I am. I think it'll be great.
Yeah, in the new venue, the Mold Masters, which the name's a choice, but yeah, we have the Mold Masters Sportsplex, and Tess, you're returning from BC for your second nationals, I
Mhm.
believe. Uh, is it like a different mindset for you? You've done it once.
Yeah.
Now it's a bit more real.
Yeah. Well, everything was just so new last time, and I really didn't know anyone other than Liam. And so I'm so excited this time just because of all the like friendships I've made over the last year. I'm staying at an Airbnb with three other puzzlers, and I've actually met my teammates before puzzling with them. So I'm just so excited this year to like meet people and hang out.
Yeah, it should be fun, and there's going to be so many more people there this year with the bigger venue, and which actually makes the predictions maybe a bit more interesting because there's some new names that we know of that haven't been there before and making their first appearance. There's going to be people that we've never heard of that potentially could make an appearance, and we could all our guesses or predictions could be completely wrong because there's 200 more people that we've never seen before. So we'll see how this goes. Just as a disclaimer for anyone that is watching this, if you consider yourselves one of the top puzzlers in Canada and you're going to nationals and hearing your name in a prediction is going to make you nervous, maybe don't watch this video. Or watch it after. Still get my views in, please. Watch it after to see if we are right or wrong. But if the pressure is going to be on you, we don't want to disturb any of that. So, but we are going to go into this. Yeah, Tess maybe wants people to be. Yeah,
Good
actually,
tactic,
that is
actually.
fair. Yes.
Yeah, let's name everybody except us three.
I'll take what I can get.
Yeah, well, I just realized now, yeah, we have the fifth, sixth, and seventh place finishers from last year on this call. So yeah, if we can list those four people off the bat, and if they get nervous, oops,
Perfect.
uh, that's that's unfortunate. So we are going to, in this video, we are going to be doing four rounds of predictions. We are going to start off with predicting the artists and which rounds we may see those artists appear, or in multiple rounds, depending on how these predictions go. We'll move on to teams after that. Our top three teams we will go through, starting with team three and working down to team one, and also including our potential dark horse option as well. Which I think will be interesting. For the dark horses, these are not just who's ever, I'm hoping, is just not what we would consider the fourth place team. It's people that are still good, but could be surprising on the day. Maybe not expected to be at the top, but any the right puzzle, the right day, you never know what can happen. We will then move on to pairs, top three from pairs, as well as a dark horse, and finishing off with the individual round, top five, finishing off, and with a dark horse in there as well. So, are you both ready to do this?
So ready.
Super ready. I've got all my post-its for all the predictions and I'm good to go.
Excellent. So we will get started with the where we think the artists will appear in the different categories. Okay, we're going to start off with the individual rounds or the individual qualifiers first. We're going to stagger this, so someone different is going to go first each time. For this, we've written down our answers as well. I did not write down my artist answers because I missed it, but these are all set, so there's no changing your answers at this point. And we'll start this off. We'll start with Tess.
Ah,
For the individual qualifiers, there's two rounds.
yep.
What are your predictions for potential artists?
I am saying that, like last year, the individual qualifiers are going to be stock images, is my guess. For stock images, I think they're gonna go for something maybe a little more illustrated. I don't think they'll be doing landscapes again, but I could see something similar to maybe what we saw. I guess the invitational was a photograph as well, but it was, like projects to kind of work on and then a background, and I could see something like that for our individual qualifiers.
Interesting. And Devon.
I disagree. No. My prediction is they won't repeat from last year. They're going to pivot. So my guess for, and I didn't do like A is this or B is that, but just for the two qualification rounds for individuals, my guess is it'll be illustration heavy. So the ones that are, so Dave Mitchison and Luis Marion, who has like a great 500 piece from the USA Nationals. I think those two will be the individual qualification rounds. It gives everybody a fun time. And sometimes, when you're by yourself at the table, there's going to be hundreds of new folks. Maybe the organizers have decided to gift us something that's not a photograph, that's beautiful, that's illustrated, that based on some of these artists' previous work might not be wildly difficult. So that's my prediction.
I'm going to disagree. I think we do not see much change. I think we see stock images again with this round, and I think we do see realism in some sort of way, whether it's landscapes but it's going to be, I think it's photographs is what we see. It's real in some sort of sense. I think there'll still be a Canadian aspect to it to kick off the first day, those first rounds. But I think there's so much effort that gets put into when the artists will show up, and so much time and detail has to go into what those images will be, what they need to accomplish in the months leading up. Easy stock image choices to kick it off. That's where I'm gonna go. Moving on to the pairs qualifiers then. Devin, we'll start with you.
Perfect. So I think this is where the stock photos are going to show up. I think it's going to be some sort of, not a landscape like last year, but some sort of test. Like I agree with you, like a photograph of some stuff that pairs will be able to divide and conquer on. So I think this is where our stock photos show up.
Okay. We're pretty much opposites on this because I also have Dave and Luis for my pairs qualifiers. I'm thinking fun illustration, like
Okay.
exact same thing you're thinking, just for pairs. And I think they go fairly well together so that you can still kind of either pairs round you're in, get something fun, get something exciting. Yeah.
And I'm gonna go with Andrew Farley as a
Ooh.
two-time submission here. So we had a double last year with the pairs
Mhm.
with the same artist, and I think we see that again where it's Andrew Farley. Just looking at what their art is like, it suits what we could see in a pairs 500 piece situation, and I think that it will fall into that category. Yeah, a little bit different from all of us here.
Yeah.
I'll kick off the individual finals. I'll be shocked if there's an agreement here, but I think we see zero for the individual finals. Uh, 500 piece puzzles. We've seen one from him already. Golden Solar System is his puzzle. That is something that could easily be in a final. And we get hard as we got last year. We can get a hard finals individual puzzle, and he there's evidence that he can do 500 piece art. So I'm thinking that's who shows up. I think he should be somewhere else. I think he should be teams, but I think we see him in the individual finals.
Okay.
Jess?
I think we have William Roy Brownridge for the individual final. He is the artist that does a lot of winter, a lot of hockey type images, very arty, kind of similar, or painty, kind of similar to what we saw last year. I think his images are difficult and they are going to challenge us. And I think it's going to be kind of a tough time, but I can really see his art for the individual final. I think a lot of it translates really well to 500 pieces as opposed to 1,000 with how difficult they are. I think if you're giving, I mean, maybe the team's final could have 1,000 piece by him that difficult, but I think it kind of needs to be a 500. So I'm going with him for the individual.
Okay. Devon?
Oof. So Tess made a great case, and I agree with you, but I didn't write him down. So I actually like my preparation agreement is with Adam. So I also think, I also think it's going to be Ciro Marchetti. There's 500 piece images of Eurographics of his, of Ravensburger, some others. So it really does lend itself to that, and a 1,000, of course. So it, if I hadn't written these down, we were making a case, I'd be like, oh, Tess, great point. Yeah, that would look really good on a 500. It would be really tough, but we've been through it before. So anyway, yes, Ciro is my prediction.
And he also showed up recently in a CJPA virtual, no, virtual event,
I
I
think
think,
so. Yeah,
for a Eurographics design. So there's
like a little
history with,
wizard, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
with it, and yeah, I can see it. For the record, I do not want that one. Is there an artist that either of you want to see in the individual finals? Because this I
Mm.
will always argue that the individual finals is the pinnacle of the weekend
Yeah.
when it comes down to it, even though it takes place in the middle of day one, which is a different. That's from that's my preview video. Go and watch that. That will be out already. But I have issues with the schedule. Is there an artist you want to see when it comes to the individual finals? We're only going to do it for the individual finals.
Mhm.
Yeah, I would love to see Louise. Like her art is gorgeous. I love puzzling it. I haven't gotten to her US Nationals, but it's sitting on my table. It's ready to be puzzled and I would just love it. It's colorful, it's fun, it's fast.
Yeah. If it's not Luis, I would love it to be like a launch of the Dean McAdam 500 piece regular size puzzle series. That would be cool.
Yeah, and that's key because one of his puzzles does exist as a 500 piece, but it's
Right.
a large size. There is no authentic, no Ravensburger's 500 piece normal size for him.
Yeah.
All right, moving on to the pairs finals then. Yeah, pairs finals. All no, I did the last one. Tess, you can start this one off.
For the pairs final, I have Ciro as
Oh,
our pairs final. I think he has some art that does lend itself to a 1,000 piece puzzle. He has some images that are super detailed, kind of like woodland creaturey, and also a couple that are like a little more dragony, I think, maybe mermaid. So I think his art style can lend itself to a 1,000, and honestly, that's mostly just what I want to see. I think Liam and I would have a really fun time doing his art style together and like picking out all the little mystical details in it. So it's mostly more of a wish, less of a prediction.
Devin?
so for me, this is where I put Andrew Farley because of the collage style images that show up a lot across the work. I think it's also true, though, that Andrew Farley is part of the group that does the Cozy series for Rav as well. And those are just so nice. And how it would be just so nice in a final to be like, oh, look at that cute cat. Or oh, look at that cute wine glass. You know, you just don't know. So that would be nice.
That's why I have him for the pairs qualifiers because you can take those and make them similar things into the small 500s for it. I think I think that'd be too easy if we got like a cozy retreat thing for a pairs final, considering what we've had historically. Um, I'm always thinking that they give us more challenging things, but I think we see Dean McAdam for the
Oh,
pairs final. Uh, the art is you can do that with pairs. It's busy. You don't need it doesn't need to be a team that does it. There's stuff for two people to do consistently and very much based on kind of the scheduling. It may make sense for him to be in the vicinity when that takes place for a finals aspect. I could be wrong. There's another spot he can fit as well where the timing works out very well, but because he's such a big name, and I don't think he gets the team's final, I still think he gets a final, and I think it has to be the pairs.
interesting.
All right, that's on to the teams. We have the teams qualifiers. We'll start off with Devon for this one.
Okay, so I think this is where we get our friend William Roy Brownridge as one of them. And a second one, a stock photo of a really tricky landscape. So I just think it would be cool because he does kind of landscape, but painting. And then maybe there's another landscape of, I don't know, Canadian mountains as we do, because we love those, or a Canadian, or like the Rideau Canal or something. And then one's a painting and one's a stock photo of like the same sort of thing. So I just think that would be cool.
Okay.
Interesting.
So the same individual for both. Is you saying he's providing both?
Nope. I think he provides one. And then we have the stock photo for the other.
Stock, right? You just say a stock. Oh, I would be upset with that. Yeah. Okay. I'm. What do I have here? I have written down. I think we have two different artists, but I think we see Louise Marion and who else do I have written down? And Dave Mitchison, for these two. No specific reason why. Looking at their art, it's suitable for teams types of puzzles, and that's kind of it. Mostly because I'm I'm really leaning into who I think the team's final is, and I was just left with these two. So that's kind of where they got slotted in. Um, Dean McAdams does fall into. I have him as a very, very close team's qualifier for qualifier A because that's what lines up with the signing session on day two. Why is he there for 2 days? That's a question as well. So that plays into it. But yeah, I'm gonna stick with my guesses, Louise and Dave. We see. Test.
I have Andrew Farley as both of the team's qualifiers. I think they'll do the like matching where someone does two images for the same types of rounds. And this time it'll be for teams. Since last year, teams was so uneven in the qualifying rounds. And so I think maybe the CJPA wants a little redemption with that. And it's just going to give us two illustrations by the same artist. I think he can do some great, like, easier team stuff, which is when they maybe want to pull out some of the easier images that people won't struggle with. And we'll just have a really fun time with their teammates.
I had no issues with the distribution of puzzles last year. I thought it was an excellent choice. Halifax Harbor, you are right. Halifax Harbor was so much harder than whatever the easy Indigo thing was after that. So much easier. Um, I don't
It
know.
was just so busy. There was too much going on.
Yeah, and we had to work really hard to finish it.
Mhm.
And my team and your team finished first and second,
Yeah.
so that definitely helped us get to it. And Puzzle Passion was the easiest puzzle of the weekend, honestly. Um,
Listen to you two. Those trees
Biggest
were
puzzle I've ever
hard.
done.
Okay.
They are hard.
um, okay, so to finish it off, the last puzzle of the weekend, last round, the team's final. Devon,
Dean McAdam.
just because.
He I actually think there's going to be a double Dean in the finals. I think he's going to do pairs finals and teams finals. But I had to put our friend Andrew Farley somewhere. So I think teams is going to be Dean McAdam for the final.
Okay.
Double Dean.
Tess,
I am in complete agreement with Dean McAdam. I think his images just lend so well to a really tricky teams final. I think they want another teams final to grab attention, like how Puzzle Passion did. And so, yeah, I think we'll see a Busy Birdies, an Ocean Lounge, that kind of style. So I'm nervous, but that's what I think.
I really like his art, but it's why is he stopping the signing session at 12 p.m. then? It just doesn't make sense. He's long. You can't get the finals puzzle autographed by him. I don't. I am not. That's the only reason why. I think he's it's so obvious that it's going to be him that I don't think it's going to be him. That's that's why. I am going to go with William Roy Brownridge as the team's final. A lot of people are familiar with the art where it's like it's those lines across the sky, the painted lines. But looking at the rest of his art, there's some really cool hockey themed puzzles that he has. There's some wintry, busy scenes that are in there that will be an absolute nightmare in a team's scenario, which is why I'm thinking that's where we see him up here. And the reaction will be the same reaction as when Puzzle Passion came out. It's not gonna be a busy puzzle like it was last year, but I think we're gonna see a grind puzzle instead, where it's gonna be how good are you at the shapes and organizing it that way. It's not gonna be that's where I think we're gonna see him show up. And yeah, I
And
don't think there's
I hope you're right, honestly. I'm glad the signing is how it is so that you might be completely right. Because, yeah, I do not do so good with the Dean McAdam puzzles, but a shape sort, little project thing I can do.
Yep. And I would rather have William Roy Brownridge, not the individual final.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
if we have to take him for teams, I'm in. The art, it's just tricky, right? With the brush strokes and like they're beautiful, but boy, they're hard.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll see how wrong we probably are at the end. We'll probably get at least one of those right, I think, each. But who knows what Ravensburger and the CJPA have decided to torture us with this year. On to the teams rounds. All right, we have our choices. Mine's all written down on my nice whiteboard here for the teams rounds. Again, we're going to do this in staggered formation here. Tess, you started the last round. We're going to start off with the dark horses. So these are not someone you may expect to see in the top three, but as I said at the start of the video, this could be the right puzzle on the right day. Someone may surprise us when it comes to this. So starting off with the teams round, we'll start off with Devon this time. Who is your dark horse to potentially surprise everybody?
Okay, I have been lucky enough to puzzle with three of these lovely ladies in various permutations, combinations, and I think their team's a dark horse. They're all very talented, and I think there's going to be some magic with all of them. So it's Corinne, Jacinthe, Joanie, and Trina. My dark horse prediction is four girls in puzzle.
Love it.
Dark horse.
Tess.
My dark horse is from the West Coast. I think they're considered a dark horse because they've never been to nationals before. But we have Baby One More Piece with Debbie, Elaine, Nicole, and Tasha. They did win Alberta regionals just a couple months ago, but they're all headed to nationals for the first time. So I'm excited to see them against our other Canadian teams, see how they do.
That's an interesting choice. The surprise team from Alberta would be interesting to see.
Mostly they're BC. They are BC,
Only
Lower
one
Mainland,
beat,
but they won
but they
Alberta.
won.
Yeah.
That tends to happen a lot. My dark horse, I'm just kind of biased to it, and I'm going to say my team is going to be on here. Puzzled Rivalry will be on there, and yes, it's a reference to the TV show. With it, I think the right puzzle on the right day. The training is going well. You just never know if everything just comes together on that one moment. Maybe not first, but possibly podium, and I'd be perfectly okay with that. So we have Puzzled Rivalry for my dark horse on there. All right, moving on to our top three, starting with the third place team. We'll start with Devon for this one. Who is your third place?
Okay, so my third place here is the Canadian Wolf Birds. All right, and the folks who make up this team is Amanda, Allison E, Riley, and Teresa. So I think they're fast. I think they practice. I love their name, and I think they're going to be third.
Excellent. I'll go next with it. In my third place team, I have for a couple reasons. One, I just wanted to say their name, Beavers and Pants. Absolutely love it on there. But this team is made up of, let me just pull it up here. We have Caitlin Albert, Kirsty Williams, Megan Sloka, and Elizabeth Stanley in there. Any team that has Megan Sloka on it, you can't overlook. And Caitlin with her sorting abilities, and you also have Kirsty, who is going to be pushing for that podium in an individual round. I think just the three of them, and then you throw in Liz to help out too. But especially those three are powerhouses. I'm not going to count that team out at all.
Yeah. I think also with that team, you have two sets of pairs coming together, and I think that can be a really magical thing in teams because those people have a lot of experience puzzling with each other anyways. So then you're kind of only needing to communicate with like two out of three people on the team because the other one you just know what's going on. So I really think that's a good pick, Adam.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And Tess, your third place?
My third place, I agree with Devon. I'm with Canadian Wolf Birds. We saw Moving Pieces last year get second by barely any time, and it's a fairly similar team other than my interviewer here. So I think third place they could do it.
Excellent. And we'll stick with you, Tess. Second place.
Second place, I have Le Four Coins.
Oh,
So
do
we
you?
have Katie, Devon, Emily, and Sophie. Obviously, this team has some extremely strong puzzlers. We've seen Devon and Katie and Sophie on the podium at nationals several times. And then Emily, it's her first nationals, but she does amazing at Quebec. So I'm excited to meet her and see her puzzle in person.
Excellent. I'll go next. I have in second place, I don't think they repeat. I think we see piece by piece. Let me get this right. It's piece by piece on here as second place. I think they got lucky last year. I think if the other team didn't have that one piece hidden behind, they may even get third because they'd be so rattled that they drop down to third place. I think it was luck. Yeah, I'm just gonna go there. I am almost kind of kidding with that. It's yeah, but I think that's who I think mostly because who I have for number one is why piece by piece finishes in a strong second place. Unless it's Dean McAdams, then maybe not. Was it
Yeah.
Devin?
I also have piece by piece because I think this team, powerhouse team. I just have a lot of confidence in who I think is first.
That's fair.
Yeah, I'm gonna hold off on mine because I think I might be a tiebreaker here. So we'll start off with, or maybe not actually.
No.
We'll start off with, it depends on what you think about your own teams. Because this could be really awkward if, um, yeah, we'll start off with Devon. Who is your winning team?
My team. So Les Four Coins. I really think that the four of us coming together, it's going to be an incredible solve. Sophie and Emily are also pairs. Katie and I have been pairs for a while now, and Katie and I have puzzled with Sophie for a while now as well. And I think we've got great chemistry. And we're all going to bring our very best, and it'll be great. It'll be fun. Yep.
Tess, anything surprising for you for your number one pick?
Nothing surprising. I've gone with piece by piece. We are here to, repeat our victory, continue our championship. I think something really magical happens when Liam gets put on a team. As we've seen with their virtual competitions, they have absolutely crushed it, but then some in person, they're kind of struggling a little bit more. But then as soon as you get them in person with another person, they're back to being their absolute fastest and best. Also, Danielle and I have puzzled together a lot this year, so I'm much more confident in kind of that pairing. And so I'm very excited to see how it goes. I think it will depend a lot on the image. And I also think this is public, so I can say it. We have a bit of an advantage because Sophie is quite pregnant, and that is tough. It is tough to puzzle with a belly in front of you. So I think that might be a slight advantage we have. Otherwise, I might be putting Le Four Coins in first.
Ooh, yeah, I'm not going to include that. Just going to keep something in my mind right now. Um, Fair enough with that. When it came down to my choice, I looked at the teams piece by piece. Yeah, defending champions. I don't think a team or pair has ever gone back to back at Canadian nationals, um, it's so tough to do. Also, looking at how the scheduling and stuff lines up, two of you are coming in from the West Coast, and your entire team is in that first qualifier on the first day. I think that causes some tiredness for the remainder of the weekend. By the time we get to the next day, I think it's going to be playing a factor in it. There's only two teams that have all of their members in the same individual qualifiers. Yours is one of them, and then the Canadian Wolfbirds are also all in the same qualifier, but they're in the second um, qualifier for individuals, and I think that may play a factor. So I have chosen Devon's team to win the whole thing here. Uh, I think it's mostly the same team, just since is was changed for Emily, who is making her first appearance at nationals. She is very good. I'm expecting to see her name probably in at least someone's top five when we get to those for individuals. I'd be shocked if at least one of us did have her in there. While just Synth is a great person, she's a very good puzzler. That's like replacing me with Megan Slocum. It's going to be a huge jump up in there. She's ranked, Emily's, I think, number 2 in the Canadian rankings right now. Yeah, I think that's going to push it over the edge, regardless of how pregnant Sophie may be. I think that counteracts it. Um, yeah, that's who I think takes it this time, and I think by a margin. It's not going to be down to 10 seconds. I think it's a couple minutes of a gap at the top for this one.
I think
Right?
it's great we're talking about this. Honestly, this is great timing because it just ignites a competitive spirit here because all of us are on very strong teams and now we just want to bring it. We want to bring it. We want to sit down, see which artist it is, and just do the best we can in the moment. And hopefully, Les Faucoins will win.
Yeah, we will see. We are not long away from finding out who the national champion will be for 2026 when it comes to the individual teams. But good luck to all the teams that are participating. Whether you make the finals or not, you're there. Teams is the fun event. It's the social event for it. All right, on to the pairs rounds. This round is tough to do. Pairs is tough. There's a lot of factors to take into consideration, but you can only choose 3 and your dark horse. So we're going to start off with the dark horse again, and this time we'll start off with Devon.
Okay. So my dark horse, I'll explain why. So I know this pair has been working together for a long time. They have had incredible showings in the last 6 months. They were on mine and Katie's heels at Worlds, and they are just like rocketing to being one of the top pairs in Canada. So I think it is Danielle and Allison for the dark horse.
Good pick. And yeah, since last year's, the focus on those 1,000 pieces is going to play a factor. And I think who's ever been focusing on that is is in good shape. I'll go next with this one. Mine's they're on the board, but a bit off the board. I think there's they have a family member there that's going to be supporting them very, very strongly. Uh, their names are said a lot, and they always put up a fight in their different round in all the rounds, but especially in pairs. They know each other extremely well, and that is don't want to erase it. The Bennett brothers, Liam and Cameron. Their dad will be there as a co-host commentator. Uh, and they get better and better each year. And I think if the right puzzle shows up for the two of them, we'll see two people on the podium that maybe we haven't seen before. And that's what I'm going to go with the Bennett brothers.
I also picked people that are very closely related. I think they're a little bit on the down low. They've definitely had a lot of success early in Canadian speed puzzling, and I think more recently, especially at Worlds, we saw their names a little bit more, where we have Vicky, the very first Canadian to place, and then Tracy, who actually beat me in finals at Worlds. And I just saw them puzzle and was really impressed by how fast they were. So I have gone with Tracy and Vicky as my dark horse. See how they do, depending on the puzzle.
Good picks. And yeah, coming off Worlds, I think that's a good choice in there. I'll go with my third pick on here. I need to peek because I forgot what I wrote down on it. Oh yeah. In third place, I think we see Sophie and Emily show up here. They, again, a top puzzler in there. Doesn't matter how pregnant Sophie is, she's still going to be extremely fast at this. And the two of them together, I think we see a bit of a Quebec invasion happening at nationals this year. So yeah, that's my pick for third place. Tess.
For third place, I'm actually going, I don't think they're a dark horse pick at all after their Worlds showing and with how much they've been practicing. I went with Allison and Danielle. I think they are really great pairs. They've been just behind Liam and I in a couple virtuals, and I like their chances. They've really been practicing.
Excellent. And Devon?
Okay, so for me, uh, it is Tess and Liam. I cover up my face here. You guys are great together. You're great together. You have incredible chemistry. You're able to practice, and the way in which you support each other when you puzzle, I love it. I love to see it. So I think you guys are podium for sure.
Excellent. We'll go back to Tess, second place.
Perfect timing. I said Tess and Liam in second place. So what we got last year, it was definitely close. We were just a few seconds ahead of third place, but we've been practicing a lot, doing puzzling together just kind of all throughout the year, but especially Rav 1000s. And so I think we'll be able to do it again. I really hope so.
Awesome. And for my second place, I make sure that doesn't come off. I too have Tess and Liam as well. I think you go back to back in second place with that. Yeah, it was close last year. There was a bit of a gap at the top there last year, but the two of you practice a lot. You've changed how you've prepared this year a bit as well. I know Liam has been practicing differently, so yeah, I could be. This could easily be a first place finish as well. I went back and forth between the two for my first and second, but yeah, I think I'm somewhat confident with that. Devin.
For my second, I've got Megan and Caitlin.
Mm.
They complement each other so well, with the incredible speed that Megan has and the eye for the details that Caitlin has. And I've seen them puzzle together. I think they can podium as well.
I agree with that. That was I thought about Megan and Caitlin a lot. Spoiler, that is not who I have as first on here, but it's the thousands. I know they're very good with 500s. I haven't seen the thousands yet as a pair from them, and that's the only reason. Now they could easily surprise me when it comes to this. Megan did 1,000 piece at Worlds, so I know obviously she can do that in the finals. But yeah, until I need to see that one first. But I would not be surprised to see them in on the podium. They're definitely on the top six, that I think for sure. But yeah,
Yeah.
and then yeah, I'll finish.
Well, can we to keep talking about Megan and Caitlin?
Sure.
They were also like super close for my third place. And I think yeah, it's the lack of practice for me is that
Mm.
I know they don't get together and practice on the weekends, so kind of their only opportunity is in competition or yeah, pretty much competition or at the Canada weekend like about a month ago. They were puzzling together and so that was some practice, but yeah, I think it's the lack of practice, which is why I didn't quite have them on there
And
because they are both very fast.
from a selfish point of view, I hope they do very, very well because they are both on my Worlds team. So having that having that collaboration between the two of them, I think is going to be that's going to benefit me. So and that's really what this channel is about.
Yeah.
It's what we're here. That's what we're here for.
Here we are. Good for
Yeah, I'll kick off the finals then. The pairs winner. I taped this on too much. There we go. I have Katie and Devon going back to back as a to repeat on there. You've been together for so long at this point. You've puzzled together all over the world essentially at this point, all over Canada. Like I I don't know how you don't win it. And if that puts pressure on you, I don't care. It's it's not a surprise. Yeah, I have the two of you for that. And um Devin, curious, who do you have as your first place
I'll tell you what,
finisher?
that gave me goosebumps because she just means so much to me. And I even like I get emotional about it because she's such a good person. And then it's incredible to puzzle with her and we have the same mindset. And I feel really lucky to be Katie's partner. So I do have us as a repeat for pairs. Yeah.
And Tess?
Before Devin starts crying, yeah, I'll switch over.
I
I
know, you can
also
tell.
have Devin and Katie as first place. I've got to puzzle next to them on a team for the last year and just know how incredibly fast Katie is, how great of a teammate Devin is. I also got to pair with Devin at Canada about a month ago, and we absolutely crushed it. So I just know how amazing of a pair she can be. Just with her communication, her and Katie are just on the same page. So yeah, I'm kind of with you where I don't really see how they don't win it. It's, yeah, way above kind of everyone else there is. No brainer for me.
Thanks,
Since
guys.
all three of us picked the same group, and I'm going to try to transition away from the emotional aspect that we have going on here. Let's go to a different emotion. Let's go to anger for this one. Devin, who do you not want to see as the artist in the pairs final? Which will you be most nervous about between the two of you?
Great question.
Most
I love this.
nervous. Yeah. I'm looking at the list of artists here.
Tess is thinking in her head, okay, who should we really have to practice just in case
Yeah. I
in
would
the
be
remaining couple
most
days?
nervous. I think you have to go with William Roy Brownridge because it's just going to be inherently difficult,
Yeah.
right? No matter how many paintings you're going to practice in the moment, it just all depends on the image. So I do think that is probably the hardest one, depending on obviously what the image is. Yeah.
All right. We
Mhm.
will we will see. That is it for the pairs rounds. On to the final category, and that is the individuals. Okay, here we go into the big event here, the individual finals. Who is going to be the national champion for the 2026? We're still going to start off with the dark horses for this one. And you know what? Let's start with Devin for the dark
Perfect.
horse.
Me, I'm just kidding. No, my My dark horse.
No one would see it coming. It'd be such a shock.
No, no. My dark horse is for this person, people can see how fast she is. She needs to believe she is fast enough to take this, and I'm going with Kirsty.
Mhm.
Yeah, she is something else. When she puts her mind to something and she practices, it's incredible.
Yeah, it's a good solid pick. Tess.
I have from the West Coast, Andrea Tremblay. She got eighth place last year, so I don't know. I decided to count it as a dark horse, but she was quite new to puzzling a year ago, hadn't really done any competitions, and she's definitely been practicing over the last year. So I'm excited to see how well she's done over the last year. And then also at the Invitational, I was just so impressed with how fast she did everything. Like we did kind of the puzzle in the exact same order, but she just did everything a little bit faster. So I think we could see her in the top five.
Nice.
Yeah, definitely. And I believe, if I'm remembering correctly, she in the finals for last year, she was not at a full table. She was the fastest at the half tables for it and made quite the jump in the standings for that one. So yes, that is very much a right puzzle, right day scenario. And I'm confident because it's top 10 from each qualifier this year that get this full tables. I think she'll be at that. It helps some people, doesn't help some people, but I think it can be a benefit to her. For my dark horse, I cheated a little bit on this one. I'm a bit more general with it. As like I went back and forth, but I thought this would be because it's a bigger event this year. There's a lot of people that are making their first appearances, which means that there's a lot of people at tables that we're not really expecting to see or we don't know much about them. So I've written down someone from the that should say bottom from the bottom 100 tables makes it onto the podium uh from it
Cool. Like
bottom
an
of it.
Alice
So
Rowe situation from the US when she,
very much so.
yeah.
Yeah, so someone sitting there at table 160 something, where no one's really thinking, looking back there, just a hand will come up and be like, "Yep, here I am." And I think we see one of those this year. So someone from the bottom 100 on there.
And I can we clarify just for when we're looking back and seeing who guessed best, that doesn't include international, correct? Because they're at the back
No,
tables. Okay, perfect.
yes. So yes, that is a caveat to put in here. None of our guesses include international participants, which is allowed for the first time this year. For instance, there is an Australian card right behind me, Caitlin McGregor, who's currently living in Canada, but I think is competing as an international participant on there. Yes, I don't know if she would count for that type of thing. If so, then I need to change my order on here because she would definitely be on that. But yeah, internationals do not count for this one. So only people that are eligible for the prizes.
Okay, perfect.
Um, I'll continue on with my fifth place finisher. I, yep, I think she has her moment in this round. The practice that's gone into it, while disruptive a little bit here and there, you'll definitely know if she does well. You'll definitely hear her if she does well, or if she's not doing well. But you'll definitely hear Kirsty on there. I think Kirsty makes a jump up this year. She'll have, again, I think she's at a full table for the final. I don't think it's going to be a walk in the rain, walk in the pain scenario. And it's going to suit her. She's going to be, I think, fifth place for Kirsty.
Nice.
Tess.
For fifth place, I have Riley Graybrook.
Mm.
They did amazing last year, coming in second, and I think they do great at a difficult puzzle, something where they can be organized and just kind of work through it methodically. So I went with fifth this year just because I don't really know them. I haven't seen a ton from them. I know they're quite busy, so I'm not sure that the practice and improvement is there as much as some of the other people. And then we also have some new people at nationals that are very fast. So that's why I had them at fifth.
Great.
Nice.
And Devon.
I have a debutante to nationals on my list for fifth. We could be surprised, could be higher, but I have Emily because we see her puzzle at our competitions and she is amazing. So I would be surprised. I think she's top 10 for sure, but I would be surprised if she's not top five.
Yeah. And I'm going to agree with you because at fourth place, that is who I have on
Yeah.
there as well. I think she's going to come in and it's just going to be absolutely an amazing result for her. So, yeah,
No,
absolutely
I'm gonna
agree.
hop in with my fourth because it is also Emily. So we're all really on the same page with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um,
Okay, so
fourth
then
for
for
you?
my fourth,
Yeah.
I actually had Riley. So I think yeah, very, very similar in that that prioritized list of folks who we think are really going to take the cake here.
I'm thinking our top three are going to be the same three people. I'm going to make that prediction now. I have no idea what you have written down, unless there is a big surprise. I think we're going to see the top three, but I think it's going to be in different orders for this one. We'll start off with third place with Hess.
Okay.
What is your third place pick?
I have Megan in third place. She has won back to back at this point. She is incredibly fast. But over kind of the last year, I've seen just a few occasional, not by much, but a few cracks sometimes in her individual puzzling. And so I do think the two people I have ahead of her have beaten her in the past and are capable of it. And I could see Megan winning again for sure. I could also see either of the other two people on my list. So I put Megan at third.
Good. And Devin.
So I have Irina at third. I think she is magical and incredible and so talented. And I think she's going to come here to nationals and blow us all away with just how incredible she is. But I think she will be third.
And I have someone different at third place. I have Katie coming in at third place. I just think the top two, I've seen one of them puzzle recently, did amazing, and the other, which is going to be obvious, who I'm not included so far on here, would also, yeah, we'll get to them in a minute, but I think it's going to be it could be any of these three at
Mhm.
the top when it comes down to it. It's one of us is going to be right, and one of us will not in these orders. That's essentially what it's going to be. But we never know. Fourth place, fifth place, sixth place, seventh place. Absolutely no idea what could happen. But I'm going to have Katie in there only because of what I've seen from the top two on at the nationals level, specifically the nationals level, not all the other competitions, but specifically nationals and a little bit at worlds, but nationals for sure. Um, I'll kick off the second place one then. In second place, I have Irina Shevchenko coming in there. Just saw her at the World Series, finished in the top 19 in the world. Third place at the US Nationals recently, which is amazing to do. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised at all to see her win the Canadian Nationals. It's her first Canadian Nationals, I believe, as well. So newcomer, who knows how this goes, but yeah, I have Irina. Tess.
I have our good friend Katie in second place for this. Again, like we've said, these like three puzzlers especially are all so close and so talented, and I think whoever takes it, like it really comes down to the puzzle in the day. But I can see Katie moving up a spot to get to her second place medal.
Excellent. And Devin, your second place finisher.
My second place finisher is Megan. Yeah, so we do have different top three, but nobody can discount Megan's talent and just her raw talent that she channels. I have puzzled against her recently, and it is very intense because she is so good. But I think she ignites that competitive spirit in others in a way that nobody else does on the scene. So I think she's ignited too much and will end up in second place this time.
Just second place on it.
Yeah.
We'll stick with you on this, Devon. Who is your winner of the 2026 Canadian Nationals?
I am backing Katie. I think this is no surprise. Pairs partner, teammate for years. I am very close to how much she's been practicing and how dedicated she is to perfecting her craft. And there were a couple of things that happened last year that took her out of the top spot. And I think she's resolved those. And I think she's going to do it.
All valid, and I agree with every point on there. I could have easily had her at first, and
Yeah.
just watching the times coming up, she's posted during this time, like doing practicing as we're recording this. Clearly, priorities are different between some of the people going to nationals. We're talking about the winners. If we were doing stuff, maybe we would have ourselves on a list here, but no, we're doing this instead. Yeah, all good stuff. Tess, who is your winner of the 2026 Canadian Nationals?
My winner is Irina, who you also both had in your top three. I've been kind of a fan slash following hers ever since Rainbow Cats when she did it in 17 minutes, obviously with many, many tries, but just the speed is unbelievable. She really impressed me at US Nationals 2025, and she was, I can't remember exactly what place, but quite high up there, especially for, so
I think it
learning
was
that she was
fifth
a
last year.
Canadian that was getting that high at US Nationals. I was really impressed. And then this year at US Nationals, like third place there is absolutely crazy. And so, yeah, I think if she gets a puzzle that she likes, she'll be number one. She can do them so fast. Obviously, if it's an image that isn't as good for her, then there's some wiggle room there. I don't think she's like so far above everyone else, but I do think she can definitely take home the win.
Yeah, fully agree with that as well. And I have Megan Slocum to three-peat at the Canadian Nationals. Uh, Before I go into the reasonings, the statistical odds that we have the same top three, but none of us matched any of those spots is unbelievable. I don't know the math on it, but how that didn't happen, that's hilarious. Again, not planned at all. That's just hilarious. But when it comes to Megan, she was our top Canadian at the World Championships last year. Um, and until she loses at Nationals, I'm not going to predict a loss for her at Nationals. Nobody, and there's never been a three-time champion at a Nationals anywhere in the world. I think we see the first one ever here. Very competitive individual. I didn't realize how competitive until she really started talking about how competitive. Like we were both, we all of us were at Worlds, and she's just dancing, happy all the time. But when you actually ask her how much does it mean to win, it means everything for her to want to win. And I think she locks in that moment. The Canadian Nationals mean a little bit more than maybe the Quebec Regionals did or the other ones that she's been in. I think we see at Nationals the three-time back to back to back champion. I think Megan Slocum takes it again. But yeah, that is the individual round. Let's just wrap up now.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Oh
That's
my
so
God.
funny.
Wow. That
I'm
that was
glad you two
cool.
got Kirsty on there. That was great.
Yeah.
That was really cool.
Yeah.
Team. I loved that. That was great.
They're just so good.
I know. They're so good. It's insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to depend on the day. Like it's in that moment. It'll depend on what puzzle they get and who can really lock it in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A three-peat from Megan would just be crazy.
Oh my God. Yes.
Absolutely. All right, so those are the predictions that the three of us have. We'll check back in once this is all done and see who was actually did the best at these predictions, or if there's someone that we really didn't see come out of nowhere and do this. Tess, do you have any final thoughts on either the predictions that you just saw, maybe even specifically for the individuals, but for any of the anything to do with nationals, as we are just days away at this point?
Yeah, I'm just so excited to be with all my puzzle people again and see everyone. And I also can't wait for those new people that we just like never could have predicted because we just don't know who they are and to watch them come into the like puzzle spotlight and see how they do. So, yeah, I'm so excited.
Absolutely. Devon, any final thoughts?
I think we talk a lot about the best of the best of the best, but it doesn't mean that just showing up isn't a big deal, right? There's going to be a ton of participants who are here for the first time, maybe speed puzzling for the first time because they're extra brave, but just sit down and try, have a little fun, learn something, meet some new people, and see it as an event that you can go back to year after year and see your puzzle friends from across Canada and now around the world. So meet the moment as a competitor, but also meet the people as a person.
Yeah, I again agree with everything you're both saying when it comes down to this. It's part of this, yeah, we're talking about the top pairs and teams and individuals, and yeah, that definitely matters. That is, we want to see who the fastest is, and that's part of the reason we have these types of competitions, and that is important. But yeah, like you just said, Devin, it's we all go in with our own individual goals. Only one person can win. We know there's going to be 399 people in the individual rounds that do not win. That's just kind of how it works. But if there's a tie, then I'm going to look like an idiot. But that is possible. We Everyone's going to go with their own individual goals. I lucked out last year and finished in seventh, which I'm still confused about on a regular basis. If that happens again this year, I'll probably have some sort of aneurysm at the time because there's no way I'll be able to comprehend in my brain that that's taken place. Just because, like you said, we have so many newcomers in here. It's names we've heard before. We've seen Emily at things. Irina's in there. There's some other names I've mentioned in my preview video for this. There's so many. Just but whatever happens, if you're a top person, if you're a middle person, if you're a beginner, whatever, enjoy it as well because yeah, it's at the end of the day you want to enjoy the puzzling. I struggle with that sometimes, but you really want to enjoy the puzzling. So yeah, good luck to everybody at the Canadian Nationals this year. Make sure you're watching if you're not able to attend on the live streams for the first time. There's some French live streams too. That will be interesting. But yeah, Tess, thank you so much for being here. I'm looking forward to seeing you again, coming out from out west. And Devin, thank you for joining me again on the channel. I'm looking forward to seeing what you can do this year as well. Again, I'm expecting two wins from you specifically. So we'll see. Just
See
one.
Tess being like, no, just one.
Just fun.
Just one. Yeah.
No sure.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you, Tess. And thank you, Devin.
Awesome.
And
Thanks
thank
for
you.
having me.
Yeah, this was
See you
great.
soon.
And cut.
Crushed it.